GTA fans are worried about the future, and so am I, honestly. If you follow GTA 6 news even a little bit, you know that there are multiple things that people currently are very, very justifiably concerned about. And currently, it's getting actually worse. We already were concerned about wokeness in GTA 6. That was a huge issue because we had confirmed reports of the Rockstar CEO going up to the devs and saying, hey, yeah, some topics should not actually be discussed, and you should probably not even mention them in the game. Okay, yeah, that's already a red flag. Because what GTA is all about is depicting the current modern day society when the game releases. The people, the wants, the needs, the insanity, the hopes, the everything. It's supposed to represent culture to a T. Which means, now this is the kind of hot take, but I said it once and I do think that this is still going to be accurate. If GTA 6 wants to succeed, they do need to represent wokeness in the game. But I'm not talking about the, oh, you can't talk about this, you can't do that, censor yourself, and all of that BS. No. I'm talking about, you just have characters in the world that are insane and woke. That should be the representation. I don't think GTA 6 is going to be able to do a good job representing modern society without this. But that does not mean that we should allow that blatant wokeness. The one that actually censors the story from speaking about certain subjects, topics, people, and whatnot, just because it's insensitive or some other stupidity like that. No, all of that should be allowed. But the problem is, well, maybe that's not going to happen because there are a lot of things. And currently, by the way, censorship is on an absolute rise, needless to say. You have probably heard something about the UK. Payment processors are doing things. And let me tell you one thing, okay? If GTA 6 is too hard on some special snowflakes and losers of that nature, I can easily see Visa and MasterCard saying, yeah, you can't really sell that Steam. You can't really sell that PlayStation. You can't really sell that. No one's gonna play GTA 6 on Xbox. What was it the next? The fuck? Who cares? No one's playing it on anywhere but PC anyway. Shut up. In any case, things people are afraid for GTA 6. GTA 6 is bigger news than aliens being real. It's bigger news than pretty much anything else in the human history. There has been no greater event than GTA 6. If we turn back time and they go back to the end of World War 1 or 2, and you asked people what do you want more, GTA 6 or the end of the war, people would not even know what GTA 6, and GTA 6 would probably still win. I'm just saying that's just the reality.
Censorship has been a topic that we've talked extensively about on the channel as of late because it feels like the internet from all different types of angles is being hit. And it's being hit almost feels like in a coordinated effort in which we're seeing governments and organizations taking more control over the internet. It feels like things are really going to change in the years to come. Now, one of the big things that has been talked about, and I've talked about, is payment processors. And how really towards the end of last year, they started to talk about the brand risk of processing payments of adult games and stuff that they deem problematic. And we've seen how activist organizations, how Collective Shout recently have weaponized Visa and MasterCard to go after content that they deem problematic.
True. And Visa and MasterCard are just spitting in our faces and saying, not on we actually didn't do these things. You're just stupid. Pitiful.
Even though that content is following laws and regulations and rules of platforms. They don't care about that. They have a narrative that they want to push forward, and these platforms or these payment processors are giving in. Now, one of the big things that I've talked about with these payment processors, it's not about Mommy Simulator blah 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 that got taken down by Steam.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, for reasons and whatnot.
The fact that they're lying. They put out statements saying, oh, we're not doing anything. No, they are. Valve has confirmed in statements saying that these payment processors has directed these platforms to their rules and saying that we will pull payments from these platforms. And look, these companies, Valve, itch.io, they cannot operate without these payment processors. Maybe there's a future that changes, but right now they need them. So they have to listen to what Visa, MasterCard, PayPal say. And now the concern was that they were going to not just stop at adult titles, they're going to go after more problematic content. You know, activist organizations, collectives should have voiced their displeasure with games like Grand Theft Auto, Detroit Become Human over the years. We've actually already seen some horror.
Evil GTA. By the way, you know why typically this arises? Because you can get a hooker and then take back the money. I'm not kidding. That's actually like a huge reason why these people are pissed. I mean, yeah, make it make sense.
Titles being taken down because of these payment processor decisions. And even recently, we've heard talk about Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row. This was something that was talked about here in this article from Insider Gaming. Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row at risk of being delisted in adult games debate, it's claimed. It's mentioned in an article penned by Gaming on Linux. A digital retro storefront has been targeted by payment processors looking to clamp down on adult games. As you are likely aware, there have been a number of adult title delistings across the industry. One of our payment processors made us aware that a fellow member of the industry was concerned about our content. And this website...
Fellow mate of the industry. My god, is that stupid.
It reportedly received an email from the Zoom platform team explaining that they had expected the delisting situation to expand further, like it already has. It was specifically said that games like GTA, Duke Nukem, and Saints Row were described as potentially at risk. That being said, the violence, behaviors, and destructive potential of franchises like GTA and Saints Row could be described as gratuitous and harmful to the wrong people like minors. So that's why a lot of us were very much concerned with where this situation was going. Now, at least
games already have the PEGI 18 label and whatnot. I think GTA doesn't, but I mean, who honestly cares? Like, it's never enough for these people. You know that this is not because, oh, the kids, they're gonna... Bro, we already have literal generations that grew up with PC non-stop there. And somehow we don't exactly have... any mass situations, for example, in America, that after we learn, oh, this was inspired by GTA 5. No, typically it's inspired by well, not a lag, but an exceedingly high amount of estrogen, because you know who all the shooters nowadays are, right?
in the United States, there's been a massive update in which
YouTube, I'm just joking. That's a joke, obviously. This channel is satire.
Trump has created action. An executive order is now contesting these payment processors' censorship, and specifically said that the executive order titled Guaranteeing Fair Banking for All Americans addresses the ability of payment processors to punish individuals for constitutionally or statutorily protected beliefs, affiliations, or political views. Additionally, the bill calls for an end to clauses regarding reputation risk on the part of the payment processors. This is the big thing that we saw in Japan. It was the brand risk of them allowing payments for adult content that they just deem they don't agree with, pretty much. Payment processors...
The irony of this, obviously, is no one even knows what's a payment processor. The average person has absolutely no clue what's a payment processor. Most people don't even know if they're real or not. It's like, it's this mystical boogeyman. It's stupid.
Like Visa, MasterCard, Stripe, and PayPal regularly claim that the objectionable speech represents a reputation risk and attempts to financially disenfranchise content creators. Now, though, it looks like this could disrupt this payment processor movement. Right now, though, it does remain unclear. It is worth mentioning we have seen other companies already in fear of Visa and MasterCard. They're trying to avoid it. Riot Games has been accused of blocking this Discord and chat, and I think that is really eye-opening of just how fearful all of these gaming companies, or just companies in general, are in fear of losing their ability to process payments through these means. Again, crypto or whatever other means, those maybe need to rise up in the future, but it has not happened. Now, this has been the...
Guys, listen, I'm not saying that crypto's never gonna actually be useful as a, trading tool, but it's not. Like, something that can speculate 20% in a day can never actually be used as real money, okay? Unless you want to be Zimbabwe.
Situation that a lot of people have been talking about. But outside of the United States, there's a massive ordeal happening with the Online Safety Act and how ID verification is being pushed forward worldwide. And this is not being talked enough because that is also a situation that could be impacting a game like Grand Theft Auto 6. We're actually hearing from UK politicians that are specifically saying that they're being asked about this, and they're saying, well, Grand Theft Auto, the developer, Rock.
You know what's the irony of every single story mission heist in GTA 5? It's the fact that the payout actually doesn't matter. It's like, you're never gonna use money for anything in this story mode anyway.
Rockstar Games, they have to get on board with our new regulations, or they potentially face massive fines. This is what's happening. That's why I'm saying it's happening from all sorts of angles, this censorship movement. And we're actually already seeing Rockstar Games pushing forward with ID verification. This comes from a notable Rockstar insider and data miner, Tez2. He wrote, "Jokes aside, Rockstar is planning to implement age assurance checks in the near future, rolling them out by region. You may need to verify your age to access GTA Online, or certain features like phone messages, text chat, Snapmatic may be restricted until you verify
The hell is Snapmatic even? I have no idea.
your age." And, this could go much further. We don't know in terms of the content that's provided in Grand Theft Auto, because yes, there are strip clubs, there's gore, there's drug dealing, there's all kinds of stuff that could be deemed problematic. And again, it's not just the United Kingdom where this is going to be stopping, it's going to be worldwide.
You know what's the absolutely most bizarre and insane shitty part? That it's pretty much the UK and Australia that's pushing it. Yet the Australian and UK government is completely fine with certain groups of individuals constantly being huffed up on paint thinners and shit. But in games, this is too much. You're literally openly supporting and advocating for these groups' rights to do it in front of playgrounds. But this is a problem somehow? And needless to say, that this is all fake. This is not really for children. None of the online safety BS, if you have not been paying attention, if you don't know what's going on, is not for children. It's made to constrict people like you and me, so we can't speak. So making a video like this becomes illegal. Also, like and comment down below, because YouTube also likes making these things illegal unless you have engagement. And YouTube thinks of you as a non-human unless you comment or like the video or something. Not even kidding, it's the stupidest system ever. So please, like the video. It takes like 1 second. Thank you. You're the best. Sloppy toppy from me next time we meet. Wink, wink.
We'll get
I'm kidding, YouTube. Jesus.
A little bit more about that in terms of some of the legislation that's being pushed forward by both parties in the United States. But yeah, this is what Grand Theft Auto is preparing for. This is something that will bleed into Grand Theft Auto 6 Online. Maybe this is where the implementation really begins. And a lot of people don't know Rockstar Games, first and foremost, is a UK-based company. I think a lot of people miss that. But verify your age to access Grand Theft Auto Online. No access. Scan the QR code with your phone or visit blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is all age verification stuff. And there has been a further update on this that shows that Rockstar Games is actively working on this. Tez2 had an update saying a preview of age assurance in-game. And this is here. It says, verify your age. Please verify your age to access...
Oh, you can't see. Whoop. There you go. Big. Based. Not based, but you know.
Online features. So potentially, without having that ID provided, you may not even be able to access Grand Theft Auto 6 Online whenever it comes about, or even access any content within the game. It's no longer you just 18 to be able to play the game. It's these governments, these organizations are asserting their authority over parents, and I just find that honestly insane with the arguments and everything that we've seen over the years, especially with the video game.
You know what's the worst part, by the way, about this? No one ever talks about this, but these people need to be called out. It's the fucking parents who support this because they are too lazy to even try to restrict their kids from actually doing any of the things that they don't like. There's a bunch of idiots out there who have children, sadly, and they don't want their children to play games like this. But they're not even going to spend 5 seconds to try and stop their kid from being able to do this. They're just going to complain about it and support shit like this, because they are too lazy and too stupid to understand that this is gonna have repercussions down the line.
game industry or just entertainment in general. But yeah, it shows right here. This is something that will be actively implemented in the coming weeks and months. And here's another one. Yeah, error. An error occurred or happened while
Yes.
retrieving the QR code. Please retry. And this is, again, they are working on this. This will be implemented very soon. And the topic about Grand Theft Auto 6 censorship is something that is going widespread right now. GTA 6 could be banned in the UK over new age verification laws. That's why the whole payment processor situation was only one half of this, because the Online Safety Act and the other governments that are enacting similar legislation, that is the bigger fear, I think, right now. Now, again, this is an article coming from the Telegraph. It goes extensively talking to the UK politicians about Grand Theft Auto 6 and how it could be impacted. The blood-soaked British success story testing Labour's mettle. Labour is the party in the UK that has been pushing this. When it was first released in 1997, Grand Theft Auto GTA was met with moral panic. Sick, deluded, and beneath contempt fumed the Police Federation. The game was debated by the House of Lords and castigated by the Daily Mail, all of which helped deliver blockbuster sales. A lot of people don't remember that panic. It wasn't just Grand Theft Auto, it was games like Doom, Mortal Kombat, the
Everything.
gore, the blood, all of that stuff, even metal music around that time. Different age nowadays, but Grand Theft Auto obviously infamously ran into massive incidents in the 90s and the early 2000s with the hot coffee mod controversy that totally changed the gaming industry and adult content in general, especially in terms of what's provided in AAA games. Now, it's mentioned here in this Telegraph article, yet nearly every GTA release has been dogged by controversy, obviously. Despite the game's violent themes and 18+ rating, it has always been popular with younger teens. A 2023 Young YouGov poll found 70% of Britons had played GTA when they were under 18, with most first playing between the ages of 12 and 15. And I say what you will,
Yeah,
I was 13, 14,
same.
I was playing Grand Theft Auto.
Now, I was playing GTA 2 when I was. I have no fucking idea, maybe 10? Yeah, 10 seems about right.
And that was because
Good.
my mother, my parents were fine with that. They would go out and buy the game. That was my parents' choice. They
My parents didn't care.
were okay with me playing that. And I think for most people under the age of 18, that has been the case. It's the parents' discretion, their choice. And these new regulations are robbing that choice from parents. And I just, again, ID verification doesn't do anything to stop young people from playing games. All it does is prepare us for a future in which we're going to have massive data leaks and hacks.
Listen, if you think ID verification is gonna save or fix anything, by the way, you're an idiot. Just flat out. China has social security numbers that you need to use to play games, and there's Chinese people selling them online. You think the same is not gonna be the workaround for this if someone really wants that? Now, there's gonna be sites popping up that sell ID verification, probably.
in which all of our data is out there because these websites, these organizations, these governments can't control the safety of that type of data. It's happened so many times over the years, it's only going to continue into the future. And you're still going to have tons and tons of people under the age of 18 playing games. Now, the UK's Online Safety Act has prompted the advent of sweeping age checks across the web, and video game giants are not immune from our newly prudish era of internet censorship. Complicating matters is the fact that Rockstar benefits from hundreds of millions of pounds in tax breaks. A lot of AAA companies are like this. Rockstar, one of the most notorious. Any
Every company is like this. Why are we pretending that some companies aren't like this? Every company is like this.
controversy around the games' content could prompt questions about the appropriateness.
And by the way, that's intended because every country in the world wants these big companies to be and do business in your country. Because the reality, them doing business in your country doesn't really mean a lot. But you still get free money from it.
Of this arrangement. And it goes on to mention the violence and vice, drugs, prostitution, and sex have been recurring themes within past GTA games. A hugely popular online mode is likely to return, along with a constant stream of downloadable content with new vehicles and missions, and a lot more with GTA 6 Online. They're planning to make billions and billions of dollars, and they have to protect that. Now, it goes on to mention that still, that has not stopped a furious backlash from parents, groups, and campaigners in the past. The most recent game in the series was pulled from some retailer shelves in Australia in 2014 over claims it included
Wait a minute, is this GTA? 1 and 2 are hard to distinguish. I'm pretty sure I played 2. But this kind of looks like it. No, this is 1, yeah, this is 1.
Gratuitous sexual that violence. And this is the organization that they're specifically talking about. Collective Shout. They were able to get Grand Theft Auto 5 removed from Target and Kmart shelves. This is a story that really didn't get talked about in 2014, but it's being talked about now because this Collective Shout organization party.
Collective Shout is complete obvious garbage. They stand for nothing, and this is just a petty attempt of Australian feminists that have no boyfriends, no husbands, no families, to pretend that they have not wasted their pitiful, useless lives.
It's not like it is just a labor only issue. We're seeing in the US, Republicans, Democrats already preparing similar legislation, and even in the EU as well. Now, it goes on to mention that another game developed by Rockstar called Manhunt 2 was briefly banned from sale in the UK.
Oh, Manhunt, what a time to be alive. Oh! Let's go! Man, my favorite part about GTA is probably Denver. Love it.
And that's something that really hasn't gotten talked about enough, and it's the fact that, publishers, developers are already very risk adverse in this current day and age, and they'll be even more so with the type of content that they're
Oh no, this is not even that one
providing in the future, especially if age verification continues to be pushed forward. And say what you
Well, in any case, we all know what this is. We all know what it leads to. None of us want to support this. And, well, the more you talk about it negatively and tell people that this is bad, I mean, the better it is, honestly. I mean, there's not a lot that you can do, but that is one of those things. Anyway, that was Legacy Kill HD, 10 out of 10. Bye!